on The Tuesday Show.
Cheesecake should be classed as a tart.
You're a tart.
I'm not a pastry chef.
And who needs feet nowadays?
Very true.
The Tuesday Show!
You know what papoose is, don't you?
No, I am a tank.
You are a tank.
No doubt about that.
Do you like blancmange?
Not really, no.
Welcome to The Tuesday Show with CJ and Ted.
It's another episode of The Tuesday Show.
It is. How you doing, CJ?
I am good. How are you?
Not too bad, thanks. Could be better, could be worse. Somewhere in between.
Yeah,
That's
so
the way
just
to be.
sit somewhere nicely in the middle. That's the way to do it.
Do you know?
Cool.
I was thinking about something. I want something. I about.
Rewind.
So yeah, no, I wanted to talk about. I made a note actually saying that I wanted to talk about cake. I can't remember what it was about cake that I wanted to say.
That it's delicious.
It is delicious, and potentially nutritious. Well, it's got eggs in it, hasn't it?
It's got protein. It's got carbs. It's a meal.
It's a balanced meal.
Yeah, some of them have fruit in. What's not to like?
Fruit.
Some cakes have fruit in. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. What's your favourite cake?
I don't know.
Just realised this is
Just-
turned into a what's your favourite?
hit that jingle.
Hit the jingle.
What's your favourite?
So,
What's my
CJ, what is your favourite cake?
What's my favourite cake? I don't know. I feel like this requires much more thought than just blurting out a cake. I don't know. I don't really eat cake.
Do you not?
No, it's not a staple of my diet. Surprisingly.
Yeah.
I guess it just have to be like a generic kind of like Victoria sponge or something, or birthday cake. Yeah, that kind of thing.
So you prefer a sponge to a what are the other one? So you got a what's the fruit cake?
I'm not a big fan of fruit cake. No. Fruit ruins the taste of the cake.
What about carrot cake?
No, not really. Cheesecake. Oh, I do like cheesecake.
Yeah, old cheesecake's good.
But I realise cheesecake comes in many varieties.
Yeah.
So I think it'd have to be just something like a
chocolate cheesecake.
I was thinking more lemon, like a lemon cheesecake.
Oh, I like lemon. Yeah, that's good.
I feel like it's just underrated. It's like vanilla. It's just a bit underrated.
I don't think that cheesecake should be classed as a cake.
No,
I think cheesecake should be classed as a tart.
You're a tart. Why should cheesecake be classed as a tart?
Because it's made like a tart. It's got like a flan base. I'm not entirely sure what a flan is, but it's got a flan. No, it hasn't. It's got biscuit, hasn't it?
Biscuit base, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm talking nonsense. But it's got.
But how many other cakes have biscuit bases? That's the big question, isn't it?
I'm not a pastry chef. So anyway, it's got a biscuit base, and then it's got cheese on. I mean, there's nothing cake about that, is there?
No,
I think of cake as being sponge cake, fruit cake.
I don't mind, like, Battenberg, I guess.
Yeah, but again, that's sponge cake.
Yeah, exactly. But it's different flavours of sponge cake. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Are they different flavours? I haven't really cut a Battenberg into quarters to find out if the two colours are different flavours.
No, they're just different colours.
Okay, so that's a waste of food colouring then.
Well, I don't know. It's fun.
But I quite like. I don't mind cake. Like I said, I just haven't really put a lot of thought into it though. I guess just like a Victoria sponge type cake is enough for me.
Yeah.
It's got jam and cream, and if you're really lucky, you can put some icing on top of it. Like I say, that's more birthday cake. So.
Yeah, birthday cake's your favourite cake.
Yeah, sponge, jam, cream, and icing on top.
Yeah.
Although my mum's death by chocolate cake is pretty good. And there is a reason it's called death by chocolate cake, is because it is likely to kill you. There is a lot of sugar in that, and you're talking like an inch thick of chocolate icing on the top. It's so good.
Yeah,
but it must be good for you because there's orange segments in there, so it must be good for you.
Yeah, and your appearance on this podcast is a bit of a spoiler.
Like you're saying, your appearance on this podcast will kill many viewers.
Cause you death. Perhaps it's a slow death, but not an agonising one because you get to eat cake.
Well, yeah. Well, until the diabetes hits you and you lose your foot. Yeah. And then have a heart attack and a stroke, and then it becomes quite painful, I imagine. So yeah. Anyway, that went dark.
Losing a foot's one way of losing weight, isn't it? I suppose
that's true. Yeah, that is true. And who needs feet nowadays?
Very true.
Yeah, got wheelchairs. I'd happily have my lost foot replaced by a wheel. Yeah, I'll happily do that, and then I could wheel myself everywhere.
You could be bionic cake eating man.
I'll be like the $1 million man, except we'll convert it to British currency, and then it'll be me instead of Steve Austin. So it's more like the 20p man.
Yeah.
What's your favourite? Tell me what's your favourite.
Should we have a joke?
Should we have a joke? Yes. Yeah, it's joke time. In fact, you could go as far as saying it's time for...
Did you want me to say something there, or are you just going to cut to the jingle?
It's time for
Joke of the Week.
That joke of the week.
I mean, I feel like you could have just said that yourself. So I remember years ago when I had an accident in school and basically broke my knee, and it messed up the gait of how I walk, and basically caused my left foot to go flat-footed. So it was recommended that I should get some insoles for my shoes to try and help that, and I didn't think that it would work, honestly, but I stand corrected.
That joke of the week. Did you really end up flat-footed?
Kind of. Because when I was walking on crutches, I basically put more weight onto my left side than I did the right. It's basically flattened out the arches slightly. It's not, I wouldn't say I'm fully flat-footed or anything like that, but when I wear shoes that don't have a decent kind of support on the arch, it's quite noticeable. And it does actually hurt sometimes as well. Especially if I've been driving for a little while and then suddenly I put weight onto it, I can just feel it stretching. It hurts. Yeah. So yeah, I should probably get some insoles, but
yeah,
whatever.
Bruh.
Yeah, like I say, they can cut it off and put a wheel on if need be. It's fine.
Well, you should think about feet being replaced by wheels for Dragon's Tank.
For Dragon's Tank. Dragon's Tank.
Dragon's Tank. Do you know what I think it's time for? Dragon's Tank.
Dragon's Tank.
Blue sky thinking. Innovation. Business. Commerce. Networking. Welcome to Dragon's Tank.
Dragon's Tank.
Dragon's Tank.
Right, okay. So we've all seen papooses.
We have?
Yes. You know what a papoose is, don't you?
No.
Okay.
Let me Google it, spell it out.
Okay.
How'd you spell it? I'm guessing it starts with P. Yep.
A.
Yep.
P.
Yep.
O.
Yeah.
O again.
Oh. Papoose baby carrier.
A vowel, please, CJ.
I'll have a P, please, Bob. Are you talking about the baby carrier things?
Yes, that's right.
Right, with you. Okay, carry on, sir.
Yeah, they're called papooses.
Right.
Which initially makes me think, well, wouldn't it be nice to have a papoose for a cat? And you could call it a papoosey cat.
Papoosey cat.
Yeah,
Right.
papoosey cat.
Sorry, I was supposed to be a dragon shark here. Sorry, carry on.
Oh yes. So anyway, that kind of appeals to me. I've seen those. You can buy them, papooses for cats. I don't know whether they call them papoosey cats, but they should do. But I want to take this one step further, and I want to have a what I would call a hamster harness. And it doesn't just need to be hamsters. I'm thinking a lot of people have, what do they have? Like hamsters, mice. Can you think of any other rodents?
Rats.
Yeah, you're on board with this.
Gerbils.
What? Gerbils, okay.
I mean, they're basically just weird hamsters, but...
Yeah, I know. But, you can have all sorts of things like, small rabbits and whatnot. Anyway, the idea is, take a look at this little mock-up I've done of the concept. Basically, it's not like a papoose in the usual sense. It is more like a if you imagine an assault vest. Yeah. So basically, an assault vest with various pockets. So you've got pockets all down your front, and you can have a variety of different animals in the pockets. And the best bit is, it's modular. So you can use the Velcro and rip off and reapply whatever you need. So, you can have a whole bunch of different accessories. So if you want something that's hamster-shaped, you have a hamster harness. If you want a rabbit, you can have a rabbit holder. You can also have a cat. You can have a cat papoosey cat. I'm going to trademark that. You can get a papoosey cat.
Genuinely, I think you should. Actually,
yeah. And you could even have attachments for the shoulders. I'm thinking, you've got your rodents at the front. Boom, on the shoulder. That's the place for your parrot. Now, what I'm looking for, I am looking for investment. And you know what? I'm not just looking to you as a dragon / tank / shark.
I am a tank.
You are a tank.
No doubt about that.
Okay, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at listeners and viewers. Maybe I need to crowdfund this, but the hamster harness, that was it. Hammock. Yeah, I want to put this into production. And basically, I'm looking for an investment of £250,000 for 10% of hamster harness or papoosey cat.
I like the idea, and I think I can see where you're going with that. I would like to counter your offer with I will offer you £200,000 for 15% of the company. On the proviso that we'll actually rebrand it to rodent restraints, where your modular system could actually have multiple different rodents or animals. I mean, we could work on the name for different, for other animals, like, for when you have cats and eagles or whatever you want to transport. Maybe you could find a system where you could have an eagle on your back, where with its wings out, so you can actually fly as well.
Yeah, I feel like you're just mocking me now. And do you know what? 15%? No, I'm just not. That's not acceptable to me.
Then
I'm out. Do you know what? I'm going to turn the tables on you. I'm going to tell you that I'm out.
No, I'm out. I said it first. I'm out.
That was an insult.
Well, I'm out anyway, so it doesn't matter. You can't fire me. I'll quit.
Well, I already quit. I didn't even turn up. It's my first day.
Dragon's tank.
Dragon's tank. Dragon's tank. Do you like blancmange?
Not really, no.
I've not had it for ages. I've actually forgotten whether I like it or not.
No, I don't like it. It's like it tastes like dirty jelly.
Interesting.
When I was a kid, we used to have it fairly regularly. I think my parents quite liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just lost the taste for it. But I think because it's one of those, we had it so much that I just lost all interest.
Mm-hmm.
So, excuse me. And it's not really my thing anymore. Like blancmange, and it's like people used to rave about Angel Delight. I know that's, but they do, Angel Delight do a blancmange, but they do other, dessert pudding things, and it was never really my thing.
I had Angel Delight the other day.
Did you?
Yeah. Still good. Still
is it delightful? Because
it was an absolute delight, and it was butterscotch. Obviously, that's the only flavour to go for. But blancmange, I've forgotten the taste of blancmange, and I need to. I need to have some, and I'll have some, and I'll report back on the podcast.
Isn't blancmange basically butterscotch? Isn't blancmange basically butterscotch pudding?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
We used to have it in a big mould, but it was the mould of a rabbit.
Yeah, we had the same. Yeah,
you had a rabbit mould.
Yeah, we had a rabbit mould. Yeah,
yeah. I need to get myself a rabbit mould just for the nostalgia.
So you need it for your son. Yeah, you got to teach him the ways of the Force.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think that's an important thing for your kids is to have a rabbit jelly mould, which you can also use for blancmange.
Yeah.
Or Angel Delights. Or
I'm actually going to make a note of that. Buy a rabbit mould.
I'd probably put on the end of that for blancmange, just so you don't get confused.
Yeah.
Because you'll look back at that tomorrow and be like, why?
I'm going to put jelly because I can't spell blancmange.
Okay.
Hey, CJ.
Hey.
How would you like to guess what's in the box?
Well, there is nothing I like more at this time in the show than to guess what's in your box, Ted.
Excellent. It's time for What's in the Box.
What's in the box?
Right, I've got a box here. And it's your job to guess what's in the box. Would you like a clue?
Well, I was going to ask you some questions.
Yes.
To see if that would work better than. So how heavy would you say it is? How heavy is the box?
Is
the box and its contents? How heavy is it?
The box and its contents together are not very heavy.
Not very heavy. So, like, I could happily hold it in one hand for a significant amount of time.
Yes.
Okay. So is the object obviously the object is smaller than the box, or else it wouldn't have gone in the box. There's an idea for a future what's in the box.
We're playing with physics there.
Yeah. So how big is the object? Or would you like to turn this more into like a yes or no type thing, so I can say, is the object the size of my head?
Yes, do that.
Okay, is the object the size of my head? Or your head?
No, because the box isn't.
Okay. Is it the size of, like, your microphone?
Not far off.
Not far off microphone muff size, okay.
Yeah.
Is it another microphone muff?
No. It's not a muff of any description.
No muffs involved, okay. Is it, I guess I'm going to go down what kind of colour it is. So is it black?
Ooh. No.
Is it white?
Partially.
Partially white.
Yes.
Is it a fixed object, or does it come apart? That's the question. Is it disassemblable?
No.
No. So it's going to be a solid object. Okay.
Yes.
You don't sound too sure.
Well, it's definitely a thing.
Is it like Play-Doh, so it's not actually solid?
I mean, it's not a fucking liquid, you know.
Is it a pot of Play-Doh?
No.
Then I'm all out of ideas, Ted.
Okay.
So tell me, Ted, what's in the box?
What's in the box? It is... Drum roll, please.
Nothing.
It's a Rubik's Cube.
A Rubik's Cube, an incomplete Rubik's Cube.
It is a complete Rubik's Cube. There we go.
Oh, very good. Have you ever completed a Rubik's Cube?
Oh, yes. Every morning before breakfast.
While you're eating breakfast? Just like in one hand, you're just doing the whole thing. Just like
give it a flick of the wrist. And
that's
boom,
it. These genius kids that can literally do it in one hand. I watched a video the other day. There was a kid who was juggling 3 Rubik's Cubes and solving them at the same time. It was genius.
Yeah.
It was incredible to watch. I don't understand them. I don't understand the pattern for when you twist it. It's like I can't visualize where different squares are going to end up when you twist it around. So I just can't do them. And I haven't really made much attempt to try it. But no, I've never completed a Rubik's Cube.
Okay. Would you like to see it done?
Sure.
Ready?
Yep.
What's in the box?
Cool.
What kind of toys did you grow up with, Ted? Not adult toys, obviously. But like when you were a kid, what kind of toys did you have and play with?
Gosh, I don't know. I had a General Lee Dukes of Hazzard.
One to one scale.
What?
1-to-1 scale.
Yeah, 1-to-1. That was a bit unwieldy. No, I suppose lots of cars. I had an Action Man.
The greatest hero of them all. That was the strapline, wasn't it? Action Man, the greatest hero of them all.
What else did I have?
Maybe this is a more prudent question then. Prudent, probably the wrong word, but probably another question would be then, what did you want as a kid, toy-wise, that you never got?
I don't know. I can't think of anything, to be honest.
Yeah?
No. What did I want that I didn't get?
Yeah, so you just got everything you ever wanted, right?
No, that makes me sound like I just got everything.
Yeah, you're a spoilt brat.
No, I can't think of anything. I just can't think of anything I particularly needed or wanted. Do you have an example? Was there anything that you was sadly missing from your toy chest?
I loved Thunderbirds when I was a kid, like the 1960s Jerry Anderson show Thunderbirds. That was like one of my favourites. And I always wanted, and you could think Thunderbirds was almost timeless. You could buy the toys well into the 90s for the original Thunderbirds TV show. Obviously not the original toys because they were quite expensive, obviously, as they developed and things like that. But anyway, there was a big, I think it was easily like 1.5 foot long Thunderbird 2 toy, and it had like opening cockpits. You could put little characters in there and the pod would drop out and you could put different things in the pod, and I always wanted that when I was a kid. I never got it, but it was expensive. That was the thing. It was an expensive toy, and I guess my parents, we just couldn't really justify it when I was younger. I did eventually get one. I bought it myself when I was in like my early 20s. I saw one on eBay and went and bought it. So
Cool.
I don't have it anymore though. It ended up just sitting on the shelf. Actually, no, it sat on my windowsill in my bedroom and basically got bleached by the sun. So it was pretty useless at that point. So I got rid of it. But yeah, that was the big one for me when I was younger. Was I really wanted this because they did I think like all of them. They did Thunderbird 1, 2, and 3 at least. I knew they did in like large sizes, and I was like, I always wanted them just because they're big Thunderbirds toys. Why would you not want that? And I guess you could attribute Thunderbirds as the trigger for my passion for aviation.
Yeah.
So I always wanted so you remember from like the pilot episode of Thunderbirds, the aircraft called Fireflash. I was fascinated by this aircraft. I was like, I wonder actually if it could ever fly, if it was actually a genuine idea that could, for want of a better term, take off. Turns out, no, physics would not allow that aircraft to ever be made in real life.
Yeah.
But it really triggered a passion for aviation. And I was like, actually, it was pretty cool. And I wanted a big Fireflash model as well, which they didn't make. They just didn't do any of them. You could get like little miniature ones, which kind of sat on the desk, but I had to put up with that. Again, when I'm in my 20s and earning my own money, and I could, actually afford to buy it. But yeah, none of it when I was a kid. But I really, really wanted it. But there you go. That's the story of what I wanted when I was younger. But the toys I did have, I think like most kids, toy cars like Hot Wheels or Micro Machines, Matchbox. Yeah. Corgi cars as well, had some of those. I had it was like the little like pull along trains that didn't go on a train track. They were just like kind of freewheeling trains, and they like the carriages were like linked. It was like a little like C hook and thing that would just kind of clip in like that, and it would pull it along like that. I had those. I had a large-ish Ecto one from Ghostbusters. That was cool.
What's that? Oh, is that the car?
The car from Ghostbusters.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I had one of those.
Yeah,
that was cool. And again, it came with like or you could buy action figures separately and put them in the car and they could drive around. That was cool. Yeah, and I had Power Rangers toys as well because I did like Power Rangers at the same time, and I guess Power Rangers were probably cheaper and maybe easier to get hold of when I was a kid. So I had Power Rangers toys. Yeah, the old Megazord. So, yeah, that was my my privileged childhood.
This is where we need like a nostalgia corner.
There you go.
Okay. Or you can just have a seizure.
That's it. That's your flashback seizure thing, yeah.
Well, hang on a minute. Shouldn't that be? That should be what? Thanks for the memories. No. Thanks for the memories. Let's go. This has to end.
Bye.
That was The Tuesday Show.
Get in touch with us. All the links are in the description. And until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye.